LIV is shutting down. Rory's takes 3 weeks off to practice at Augusta, and the Path to Par League starts. Welcome back to Two Off the Tee. I am your host, the better golfer, James Shin, and with me, my co-host, the Titleist of Loans, Jeff Shin. Jeff, welcome back to my show. We have a lot to talk about here today, and a lot of roasting I got to do for you.
Yeah. We got a lot to talk about. Let's go.
Yeah, a lot of chirping from you, but not a lot of action. Anyways.
Yeah, clearly my face is red because I'm embarrassed, but yeah, let's go.
I see. You should put the clown nose on too. Did you hear about this news? I read the other day or the other week. I think LIV is going to close. The pith Saudi fund is done funding LIV Golf.
You know what? It's not surprising. I've heard they're burning about $500 million a year to operate. I mean, in what world is that okay to operate a business losing $500 a year?
That is awful. That is awful business. And a lot of it's to the players, I'm sure.
You get that large check, it gets very easy sometimes to get complacent, right? And I imagine some of these pros that want to go to LIV are seeing the most amount of money they've ever seen. So you do lose a little bit of motivation, when the bank account is flush. And
I think we did see that in the Masters a little bit.
yeah, I mean, even if you look at it like Brooks, right? He's back. He's not a top contender. I don't even know if PGA really needs him back, right? So for LIV, yeah, that burn rate of $500 million a year, I don't know how long you could operate.
My understanding is they have infinite money printer, but at a certain point, the bleeding's got to stop. And, there's a lot of hungry golfers out there who want that spot. So if these golfers aren't as hungry for it, there is someone else who wants that spot. So they got to be careful.
Yeah. And, again, I don't know if you saw the clip where they're playing in Mexico and Bryson's like, this is what we're playing on. I was like, yeah, that's what I play on. What's wrong with that? Did you see where he was hitting like out of the rough? And
that
it
was
was
a
like
couple weeks
mud
ago,
or whatever.
right? That was like 3
What?
weeks ago. It was like 3 weeks ago, right?
No, Mexico. They're playing Mexico this week. Probably finished up already.
Then. I mean, the courses they've been playing have not been in tip-top shape anyways.
Well, right. I mean, look, locally they play at Bolingbrook now, a place that we can play at. I mean, we could play the Glen Club too, and Corn Ferry's there, but Corn Ferry's not. I guess the Corn Ferry is better than LIV, actually, just for course prestige, I would say. So the Glen Club is a nice course, and
It is
I mean,
nice.
Bolingbrook's nice, but in comparison, I don't get the same feel when I go to Bolingbrook compared to the Glen Club.
Well, it's two completely different courses. I mean, the pros play at Torrey Pines and Pebble Beach, which are public, open to the public as well. So can't really just say just because it's a public course that they shouldn't play there. But Bolingbrook is not in the same caliber as Pebble. Now, Torrey Pines, I didn't really think was amazing. And I heard they were even trying to play at Harborside, but Harborside needs a lot of money renovation in there because you haven't played there in a long time. And we got a friend who keeps trying to get us out there, but it's in really pretty bad shape. It's in really bad shape.
Yeah, a lot of courses are just in bad shape. But again, I mean, if you look at LIV and where they've been playing, I don't think they've been the greatest courses. So I would say as a pro, that's probably difficult just for where they actually practice just on off days compared to going to where their tournament is. Like, well, this looks like a hole in the wall type of joint compared to what I'm used to playing at my private clubhouse. And also, they're just not getting the airtime, which I don't know why. They just don't air more of their rounds on YouTube.
They totally should, because I think it's free. So I don't know why.
I know they were doing that. I know they were doing Thursday and Friday those days, and that's where I caught a little glimpse of Anthony Kim when he won that week. I was watching on YouTube. So, and it was cool, at least I thought for LIV when they're on YouTube and they're playing internationally where, oh, okay, Thursday night or Thursday morning, you can watch a PGA event and then in the evening go on YouTube and then watch LIV at night and it's live, so I thought that was cool in a sense that it was literally 24 hours of watching golf. So I just feel like LIV tried to do a lot of stuff that was disruptive to PGA, but not really disruptive. You're just copying what they're doing and just stealing their players. Which if you remember, we talked about it and I mentioned that this totally reminds me of WCW versus WWF or now WWE, the Monday Night Wars, right? The pro wrestling thing that I was talking about. And in the end, WCW lost because leadership just sucked and the storylines were just terrible at a certain point. It was really cool, You never seen anything like that where they had the NWO and they're all joining WCW, and then it looked like basically, hey, a lot of guys from WWE are joining WCW to take over, and it almost felt like a real storyline that was happening. Like, what the hell's going on? And you know, I think Liv lost its momentum just like WCW did because that storyline can go only so far that you have to constantly build a new storyline. And that's what's great about WWE, that they always have a new storyline developing. So it's the long game. And at least with the PGA, maybe they don't have a storyline, but there's always something developing, right? And with Live, what's developed? What news do they have? Nothing.
Yeah, they haven't had really anything exciting. I don't know if they're not marketing very well except for Bryson. So it's interesting though too what's going to happen to all the players if Liv does shut down because isn't there some sort of time frame where they can't play in the PGA?
Yeah, but honestly, I think this is what's going to happen. Just like how it played out in wrestling, it's going to play out this way. WWE is going to look at the best talent that they have remaining and cherry pick who's left. The PGA, do they really need some of the old guys back? And it's crazy. Does the PGA really want Dustin Johnson back? Kind of a big name, but is he the same player still? Is it worth bringing him back?
I don't think he's the same player. I mean, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time either. I didn't even know he was still in Live. So I think he played in the Masters though.
Yeah, he played because he won and he has a lifetime membership to play. He's always going to get invited to play the Masters because he won. But my point though is, I don't know, the guy got like a $300 million check. So, if I'm Dustin, I'm like, cool, man. Thanks for the 300 million. And if the PGA doesn't want me back, that's cool. I don't care if I'm under the radar and no one can find me and I'm out there just playing public or not public courses, but private courses and just retired from the game. What more do you need?
I agree. I mean, if I had that money in a lump sum like that, I would just I would disappear off the face of the earth too, probably.
That's what I'm
Or who
saying.
knows? I mean, I wouldn't have to play competitive golf anymore. I'd be in a different venture. But that's too bad for Live, you know? I think they tried. You know what? I really enjoyed going to Live events, though. They were much more fun than PGA events. They had music playing, they had cart girls coming around serving you drinks. There was like activities for, we don't have kids, but there was activities for kids to do, like putting stuff. You know, they just made it a more of a sports entertainment venue for fans more than the PGA, where the PGA is you just walk around, it's all quiet everywhere. So I had a lot more fun at live events for sure. And I like that they're shotgun starts. You're not there for 10 hours walking around. I really love the shotgun start. There's action everywhere all day. And it's only 4 or 5 hours, you know. It's kind of nice. Now it doesn't ruin your whole day like going to an event.
No, I for sure I agree. I mean, there's probably a lot of great stuff that they did. And it just falls under that, what I always say, great idea, poor execution. Live, probably a great idea, poor execution. They had the opportunity, they had the momentum, they were stealing players. I mean, I'm telling you, this is literally the WCW playbook of signing, up and rising talent or top talent from WWE, joining WCW. You had the top talent starting to join from PGA going to Live. Now you had that momentum. What'd you do with that momentum? Nothing. You had no coverage. You were trying to get TV rights. You could have just posted on YouTube for free.
Definitely should have. I think they messed that up. Not like
Sure. I mean, it's such in my opinion, I feel like it's such a royal screw up on their end of what they're trying to do. And they're trying to, if you really wanted to stick to PGA, you could totally have done it. Again, this reminds me of the whole Monday Night Wars, right? I mean, WWE was pre-recorded and all of a sudden it was a turning point really, but on WCW, I remember they started reading off the results because it was pre-recorded. And that was kind of the turning point for WWE because everyone changed the channel to see what actually happened at that time frame, to see the results of it. They didn't care that the results happened, but they wanted to see how it got there. For Live, again, I don't think everyone was trying to be too cool with each other. And I think that was a problem with them, where especially if you have like a team structure, like where was the shit talking? Where was the promos? There was no build up. Everyone got a nice fat check and was like, hey, cool, man. I'll see you next week.
well, there's no shit talking in the PGA, really. I don't feel like.
Well, PGA doesn't need to do that though. But I'm saying if you're gonna be Live, like you're gonna create another golf league competition. It's just like basketball. They have the the guys that are retired that do the 3-on-3. It's like cool. Like, what's so exciting about that? At least with the Harlem Globetrotters, totally different spectacle watching that, and it's actually entertaining that people go to it all the time. You
I
know?
guess. I mean, now that you say, I guess Liv was and one. You know, and one
Yeah,
was cool though. And one was cool though. I'm not gonna lie, that was fun to watch.
yeah. I mean, they had a lot of great ideas, but I mean, no one. I don't think any one of the pros tried to promote it and get a little bit more creative. What they had. I mean, think about it. Even stupid Team Korea, they changed their name from like Ironheads to Korean Golf Club. Like, come on, guys, we could do better than that.
Yeah, I mean, RIP if they don't make it.
Not
But yeah,
surprising when you're burning $500 million. Give me $500 million. I'll turn Live around.
yes. Well, we welcome some to the Path to Par League. Our doors are open. DJ, Brooks, Bryson.
Yeah,
Anyway,
and $500 million. I'll turn Pat the Par around like crazy.
yeah, right. Hey, Jeff, moving on to the front nine here. I want to talk about the Masters a little bit because something interesting came across my desk. I heard that Rory took 2 or 3 weeks off to play and practice at Augusta. What are your thoughts on practice rounds and Rory? People want to put an asterisk on Rory's second jacket there.
Oh, you know what? I I think it's fair for Rory. He doesn't need to join all the events. They have a schedule of what they can do. So, or, they have to play X amount of events and points and things like that. So I think for what Rory did is perfectly fine. He was within the rules of the tournament structure overall for the FedEx Cup. So why not? Why not take 2, 3 events off, 2 to 3 weeks, and go practice there? I mean, it's got to be nice, right? You have a private jet, fly out there, drop off your daughter to school, hop on your PJ, go to Augusta, play around, grab lunch, head back home just in time for dinner. What a life.
That does sound
So
really nice.
I know, right? Why not? I would love it. It's like, yeah, what? Where do we need to fly out to? Yeah, okay, cool. I'll meet you there at the airport at 10 a.m., 9 a.m. We'll fly out there, play around, grab lunch or eat lunch and then play around, then head back home. I'll be back home in time for dinner.
So you think it's fair that he did that though? I mean, as a PGA, if I was a pro and they're like there are pros who basically only focus on winning majors. So if only winning majors is your thing, yeah, practicing at Augusta or wherever the major courses are going to be that year, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think it's perfectly fine. Why not? I mean, he's not doing it in the early stages of his career, right? Let's just say he's more prime-ish in his career, and he's put in the work that I think he earned the rights to do that he doesn't need to be at all the events maybe previously. And sure, I'm sure other tour players would have loved to take 2, 3 weeks off to go to Augusta when they're invited. Because my understanding is once you get the invite, you can go to the Masters as much as you want to play. Or I mean, sorry, Augusta as much as you want to play. So everyone has the same fair opportunity to do it. Now, yeah, Rory has more money than probably other tour players that he could do that. So maybe that's a disadvantage. But I think, once you have the sponsorships and build your brand, take advantage of it. And if I'm a young tour player, yeah, why not? Get better, get the money, figure out a way to get to Augusta for 2, 3 weeks, practice here and there periodically, and get that major under your belt.
Well, Rory, you got Jeff's stamp of approval. What you did was just fine. Congratulations on your second jacket.
Now, what's funny that this reminds me of, though, is that you brought the practice round for our golf league, which when we first started, remember, we were trying to, when we first started doing the league and we wanted everyone to play together. And for whatever reason, you and another guy couldn't join. And we played in the next day, crappy conditions because it rained and you had work, so you couldn't play. And all of a sudden, because it was a playoff course, you wanted to have a practice round and then play on the most nicest day as a makeup round. Now, something along the lines of that, I think that's complete BS.
The practice round or me wanting to play on a better condition day, or all of it?
Both.
Okay. All right. I mean, looking back at it, yeah. I mean, hey, you give me an inch, I'm going to take a mile, right? Like if makeup rounds were allowed, yeah, why would I want to play in a terrible day, But we've learned from that. Things have evolved in the league where everybody now has to play in the same day. There's no makeup rounds, so it was a learning experience. You gotta fail and get back on the horse or whatever, and you learn from the mistakes. So
Yeah,
I mean, even practice rounds now should still be allowed, right? Like if for some reason we set the schedule and told everybody these are all the courses we're gonna play, and these are the playoff rounds. What's stopping me from just practicing in Seven Bridges and Thunderhawk or whatever for the whole year? Is anything stopping me from playing there right now every day?
no, there's
Is it
not.
frowned upon if I do? Like, well, someone might say James is a scumbag for doing that, but
Well,
we're also
I
not
think
playing for
that's why
millions
we
of
got.
dollars.
Well, I think that's why we got rid of the makeup rounds going into the playoffs. Where it's just a set schedule now that, hey, this is a date, you got to make it. Because what I've noticed with our golf league, for the most part, we try to keep it just a friendly community. But then there's always that guy like you give them an inch, they take it a mile. And we have to start implementing these rules like the James rule, the Nemeth rule, these different rules, because the unintentional stuff that happens, we have to audit and fix these things.
I agree. Didn't they make a rule for basketball? Like, you can't dunk or something until more people could dunk. Like, kind of like that.
I mean, and that's the thing. I'm sure if more people did what Rory did, they'd probably make a rule about it. But my understanding for Augusta is once you get the invite, yeah, you're a member. Come on through as much as you like to play. But obviously everything ties down to financials. So same thing for our league. Yeah, everyone knows where the our playoff course is going to be. Go ahead, do a practice round. I think 2 years ago it got really serious because we made Bowes Creek playoff two, and a lot of people that made it wanted to do a practice round.
I
So
think I remember that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if your schedule allows and you want to do it, I think you should. And I think we're moving more into the next segment here and at the turn. Sorry, Rory, but you're just not as important right now. In our league, we just had our first event yesterday. I do love Bowes Creek. I love how we implemented a lot of different courses because it's not like I get to play all the courses in Illinois too that are great. We have a lot of great Chicagoland courses and we don't get to play all of them. So I'm glad that we get to show members new courses to them and like some of our favorite courses to play. Yesterday was our first event. We played the Sanctuary. It was supposed to be Chevy Chase, but they got flooded and they closed, and we quickly had to make an audible at 8 a.m. We played the Sanctuary, New Lenox. First time for me, first time for you. Not terrible layouts, but the conditions were not as ideal as what I would like them to have been. But it was a great turnout. We had, I think, 16 people. The weather was pretty crappy, but everybody kind of, they did their thing. I mean, Jeff, do you have anything to comment about how you played yesterday? Because you've been doing a lot of shit talking on the channel. We have a Discord where all our members everything is organized through Discord, and you've been doing a lot of typing in there. Do you have anything to say
hey
about
man,
how you played?
that's what I was saying. Liv can learn something. Sometimes someone has to be the heel, someone has to be the villain. So I welcome it. If I have to be the villain, and people want to roast me for having a little bit of a tougher round, hey man, that's part of the role. So
Well,
Liv should learn something. But speaking of before we get into it, the round, yeah, Sanctuary, what an interesting course. I don't know what it is with these south side courses. They do not believe in cutting the fairway ever.
no, that was very interesting to me. I mean, yeah, when I'm in the fairway, I'm like, am I really in the fairway here? I just don't feel like I was in the fairway.
Yeah, I don't know who's managing it, but it seems like it's one group managing it because I played 2 weeks ago at Big Run. They don't cut the fairway over there too. And it's under new management. So you should probably check it out. Nothing has really changed, but it's under new management. So maybe they'll decide to, you know, mow the grass and have a fairway finally. So their Broken Arrow, same thing. And yeah, Sanctuary, they didn't have a fairway. So surprising that these guys, I don't know why they don't, no one says anything that there's no fairway there.
It's a very interesting thing to me. I mean, I'm not used to playing golf like that really because I'm used to like tighter fairways where, yeah, my ball's just resting on top of little short blades of grass. Um, when I was in the fairway, I I definitely could probably barely see my ball still. There's a lot of grass behind my ball, so It was definitely interesting, and even I mean, yesterday was very tough because it was like 40-mile-per-hour winds. It was mentally draining just being so cold, and just wanting the day to be over out there. It was really tough for me, and I'm sure everybody else. I'm sure everybody was complaining about the weather. It was cold. I get it. I mean, I think every other hole I was like, "Yeah, I'm freezing. I can't wait for this day to be over. I wish I had a hot chocolate or something like that." Like it was tough. I mean, it was a tough round.
No, for sure. And I was telling, at least for my group I was playing with, I was like, man, imagine being a pro and playing the open in these conditions. And I'm like, damn, these guys are really good because in these conditions, we're just sucking. And my group, we just happened to be the group that was the worst group that played out there. And yeah, it was challenging. I was telling my group, I'm like, damn, dude, I am having a hard time just like turning right now. And I kept saying, oh man, I feel really rushed right now. And I think it was just due to the cold that I just wanted to get it over with.
Were you the first group out?
We're the first group out. My group, we were all bottom four. And I was like, damn it, man. And I saw my name at the bottom of the list. So I was like, I'm not getting last place. I don't care. So once I think the an 8 was a par 5, maybe 7. I think 8 was. One of the two, right? And the stretch where I got par, I was like, all right, let's finish strong here heading into the turn and regroup and claw my way out of this mess. And I was slowly doing it, and then hole 13 was just another disaster where I'm like, oh my god, this is what a mental beatdown here. Stringing some decent holes, and then you have this major blow up, and I'm like, damn it, why can't I just string some better holes together right now? So rough day, rough day, rough day in the office.
It was a rough day. I mean, was there someone in front of you guys or?
No, so I think that was like a twosome, maybe a threesome. No one was in front of us. So and the group that was behind us, they're just really slow. So I don't know why I was rushing. I think it just had to do with the cold, and I just didn't want to stand in that wind, that with that wind.
Yeah, we kind of felt rushed. We had a solo behind us, and then there was a twosome behind him, and then another twosome behind him, and it started getting backed up after a while. And we were feeling rushed, but yeah, to your point, like my body just couldn't get, and I think after a while, I was saying it too. I was like, my body just can't warm up. My body's just, it's always cold. But it was tough. I mean, I like the layout. I wish the conditions were a little bit better. But I think for the first event, it sucks because it's been like, 70, 80 degrees all week. And then when we're finally ready to play, it's like 40 and 30-mile-per-hour winds, and like a couple weekends ago, it was like 70, 80 degrees where we could have played, but we didn't, it just sucks that we're like, yeah, okay, the season's here. Let's play. Too cold, and
I was thinking that right when I got out of my car. I was like, I can't believe we played COG in February in better conditions than we did yesterday in April.
it was pretty bad, but we had a great turnout. I do want to talk about your round a little bit because I think last episode you were like, I'll play you for money straight up. And then I said, Jeff, relax. You got a lot of talk in you right now. And I just want to go over the scores because I have my score up, but I don't have your score up. I shot at 86. My front nine was a 41. And then my back nine, I couldn't string anything together. I shot a 45. So I shot at 86. Not my best round, not my worst round, but mentally in the back nine, I was getting kind of checked out. I was 1 over par through the first like 7 holes. Let me see if I can find your scorecard on my computer really quick because, I think you were like, oh, I could beat you. I'll put some money up and blah. What do you got? 80, 106 here. Very interesting. I looked at the leaderboard for the first time, like at hole 4 or 5. And who do I see at the bottom? Plus like 15 through 5 holes is Jeff Shin. I mean, what you shot through the first 5 is what I shot through all 18. 106? I mean, that's what you got to say about that. I mean, I saved you a lot of money because you wanted to play for the round of golf. So,
Yeah, I did, and I still do. But, obviously we had to change courses. So I was more prepared for Chevy Chase and how I wanted to play. And going to a new course, throwing the audible, I just was underprepared to what to expect there. So, besides that, I mean, it was just this new swing of mine. It's working out great, I feel like. But the problem is now, really testing it outdoors. is these new landing zones for me. So
Hmm.
flying greens, pulling it more left, and then playing the fade. There's a lot of new challenges that I had to deal with out there, and not knowing how the ball was going to fly on top of it with the wind after years of a different swing really took its toll on me. I mean, think about it. Tiger went through a new swing change in his dominance and didn't win for like 3 years. So I'm going through a new swing change. Got to go through these growing pains right now. But when it counts, don't worry, you'll get your ass whooped.
I'm waiting for that day. I mean, I beat you by 20 strokes. I think for anyone who's actually watching this, I think they just will believe that there'll never be a time that you will be. I mean, and I've been saying for the longest time, I think since we started this, is like I beat you by 20. I just beat you by 20. I mean, I guess it is what it is. I mean, you are a ambitious guy, and I love that
You're
about
saying
you.
there's a theme? I mean,
Dude, your wallet, dude, you're pith. You're the Saudi funding team. You're just losing money over here to everybody. And I'm gracious enough to not understand that you're my brother and that like you would just be funding my golf life, which is I should accept it because you're so stupid with your money that I should just take it. But I mean, I'm trying to save you some money. I mean, like you have no chance to beat me straight up, and I mean, it's just hilarious that you're this ambitious.
yeah, ambitious or stupid. But you know what? Again, I might be revealing too much of the playbook here. But just like I said earlier with Liv, sometimes you need the villain. And if I have to play that role, that's perfectly fine with me. But you guys will lose when it really matters. Because all of a sudden you guys are going to be like, oh man, I could beat Jeff 20 strokes all day long. And then next thing you know it, I'm going to be crushing you guys. You're going to be like, where the hell did that come from?
Well, as it stands right now, I'm first place and you are 12th place out of the 16 or 15 that showed up. So,
Yeah, I mean, I'm still on the bubble for the cut line now. Since we implemented it, only 16 will make it, so that should be interesting. Honestly, man, I am disappointed. I was excited to play our first event. I know last year for our first event, I came out kicking some ass, and I thought I was going to do the same thing this year, and nope, it's just a rocky start. Maybe it'll be the opposite for me because last year I started hot and then I started falling apart. So maybe this year I'll start like this and have this hockey stick.
yeah, right. We'll see. Anyways, so this next Sunday will be our next event in Old Oak. I think we have like 18 people or 20 people who's out of 26 who can play. So that's going to be a very interesting event too. I mean, and the weather will be nicer. I think it's going to be like 67 degrees or something. So it'll be a lot nicer. Kind of excited for Old Oak. I mean, it's always nice. And we have a lot of new members and I think they all enjoyed it minus the weather. I think once the weather gets a little nicer and everybody's kind of in the competition mode, I think everyone's going to kind of enjoy it. David, our new recruit, it's like a six-handed. He really enjoys playing by the rules because he was like, I think around like hole 8 or something, he was like, this is much different than playing with Cowboy because, he gives me all these putts. And David, he's a really good putter. He's a really good short game guy. And he was missing these 2 3 footers that had a little downhill or outside the cup break. He was missing those, and I was missing some of these too. That was just outside the cup. I was missing them too. So it's kind of refreshing to play this way again because I think my handicap did drop a lot because people just kept giving me these 2 3 footers where normally, and if you know me, you don't give me putts. I mean, I can miss anything. So I'm really happy to play back in the league right now.
Yeah, it's the way to play. Why not? What's the problem? You have a break downhill. Yeah, we know you're intimidated. Partially inside, I do want to see what happens. And if you miss, it's like, oh, that sucks. But you're like, yeah, like I don't know. I enjoy it when you see those breaks downhill. You're like, oh, you know that guy's nervous on that putt. And if he sinks it, you're like, damn, nice putt, right? Like that's sincere. But when they miss it, you're like, yes, do it again. Now you got an uphill putt with
Well,
another break.
it's really gonna matter when the playoffs are around and there's money on the line because yeah, it's gonna have a lot more pressure with those putts, and every shot is gonna have a lot more pressure because yeah, there's gonna be like 16 people on your ass who definitely wants to win. What does first place get this year? Like 2 or 3 grand now or something? 2,500
something like
bucks.
that. But am I the only one that likes watching people miss downhill putts that break like 2, 3 feet?
I guess it depends on who you're playing with and if there's money on the line. Like if there's no money on the line, yeah, I don't know, but I still want to win first place. I still want the points. I want to make the cut. For me, I just want to make the cut line. And winning, or I guess tying first place yesterday, puts me in a really good position to, I think, make the cut regardless now. Because from what I see, I think I need about 700 points to make the cut. Um, I don't know. I mean, I need about like maybe 500 or 600 points to make the cut. So I think I pretty much should be safe. Although we have more people in the field now, I should be pretty safe making the cut. Now, if I get first place and I win the bye, I would love that. But for me this year, just making the cut, because last year my strategy also was, just coast on by, make it through, win top 8, you know, get to the finals. That was my game plan. I mean, maybe I'm revealing too much here. Maybe we just got to edit that out. But that was my game plan. It was just slide by just enough. Because I think, the first event, I got like 8th place or 7th place or something. So I barely skated by. And then the second event, I got 4th or whatever because Tom missed that putt. So I barely skated by to make the finals. And then the finals, I was like, all right, now I got to win. And I was doing good, and then I fell apart. And then I got second place again. So that's my strategy going into this. That's the strategy going into it again this year. But the 85% handicap makes a big difference. If, as I've seen, all you high handicaps are on the bottom of the totem pole.
It did look a little bit more balanced, and I will say I'm glad that we did stumble across that with a lot of the people in the comments, posting stuff, bringing it to our attention and utilizing going a little bit more extreme than the USGA recommendation of 90% to 95 and going 85%. Looking at it, the leaderboard for me when I was looking at it, I was looking to, and then I will be honest, like I was a little distracted as the CEO of the league. I wanted to make sure that we're doing the right things here with the handicap. And as I was looking at it, scores were pretty tight, very similar to like the Masters, right? Where it's like, oh shoot, Rory dropped a stroke. Oh, shoot, Scotty, is gaining ground. And it felt like that when I was looking at the leaderboard, saying, oh shoot, Matt's leading. James is right in the mix. Sebastian was like tied for 6th or 7th in the front 9. And then when the second 9 happened, all of a sudden you see him clawing away and other people falling apart. And then even the other guy, Andrew, right? He was in the mix, and I kept looking at it, and I was telling my group that when I was playing with, I was like, yeah, if we stuck with 100%, Andrew probably would have been in first place or second place with his awful score. What?
Andrew?
Yeah.
I thought he was playing awful. He would
No,
have been first
yeah,
place though.
I'm saying he was playing awful, but in the front 9, it was still bad, but at 100%, I feel like he would have been in the top 3. And
Wow.
I feel like for you in England, if you looked at it at the leaderboard saying, what else do I need to do to shake this guy off? And now with the, being taxed at 15%, you're probably a little bit more comfortable as a lower handicap guy that the blowups don't hurt you nearly as much, and the blowups hurt a little bit more to a higher handicap. That makes it a little fair. So what happened was when I was watching the leaderboard, Andrew was in the mix, but then he started playing really bad and he started plummeting. And Sebastian, I don't know if he was playing better or the same, but he went from 5th or 6th and he was working his way up to 3rd. And I think at one point, maybe by hole 14 or 15, I saw that it was you and Sebastian right in the mix. And then you would fall down to 3 and then move back up to 1. And then eventually you and England tied and Sebastian took 3rd.
I didn't even like when we were playing. I didn't even really recall that we changed the handicap thing. But I mean, I thought I was playing pretty well, and then I checked the leaderboard, and to be honest, I was just watching where the hell you were, dead last. Yeah, it was. I totally forgot that we changed that, and I was looking. I was like, oh, like England and me are first. Like, I was like, "That's kinda weird," and then Sebastian kinda was crawling back in. He was making some ridiculous putts, so, I mean, his putting has always been saving him. Um, 'Cause, yeah, he'd be, like, putting bogey or double or something, and it would be a really tough putt, and he would drain it, and I'm like, "Wow, like, you just saved yourself a bunch of strokes right there." But, yeah, it's kinda nice. I mean, it's, I think people have to start playing their best, you know? You can't just come out here and just do whatever you want and, kinda win an event. I mean, just kinda like it shows yesterday. The high handicaps, I mean, I guess that 15% tax is a lot when you're at a 28 course handicap, like you don't get 28 anymore. You're gonna get 22, and those six strokes is huge for something competitive like this. Even for me, I'm at 10. I think I'm at 10 now. Yeah, I think I only got like 7 at the course. So I was like, man, that's pretty tough. Instead of getting 10, I'm getting 7. I'm like, man, it's all relative, I think. And it's just I think it makes the competitiveness more tighter for everybody. So I think it's fair. I like it.
For sure. And even just, after the round, I, grabbed a meal with a couple people and we were just talking about it. And they were telling me about their group and saying, oh man, this guy's short game's really good, actually. So I think they see that the competition is better this year. And especially with a couple changes with the handicap and the cut line, I think it's going to be fun that it's something to look forward to the next event, knowing like, yo, I gotta play really well this week to stay off the bubble, right? So I know for me, in my mindset, everything has changed. Where it's like, yeah, league, I'll show up, I'll play, whatever. If I place first, second, third, cool, right? But now it's like heading into the second event. I'm sitting here, I'm like, damn, dude, if someone else shows up, I'm on the bubble now, and I could easily be eliminated if the playoffs started tomorrow, type of thing. Where I'm like, oh, yeah, I need to regroup, focus, prepare a little bit better, and just all those things that build up into that week where you truly prepare. And like, I feel like every round is going to be meaningful. And on top of that, we introduced another major for our fourth event. So you get more points there. So it's not a very long season overall, but it's kind of long, I guess. So you can't dick around this year.
I agree. And what I would like to see one event is we put all the similar handicaps together. Like you can't have like a single playing with like 3 other 20s. What I think would be nice is if we put all the singles together and then the mids and then like the lows, because then they're playing with their bracket of competition.
No
I mean,
flights.
look, huh?
No.
Why?
It's the same thing as doing flights. No.
I said for one event. I mean,
Nah.
see, you don't understand because you shot a 106, so your opinion like is almost mute in this situation. You don't know what it's like for a better player to play with a worse player. You have no idea what it's like for us.
You need to know. I know how
Yeah,
to
because you
create
will
the best
never know. You will
I
never
know
know.
I know how to build great competition and keep a league around for 10 plus years.
You
What
don't
about
know
live?
anything.
They
You don't
can't
know
even do that.
anything. All the ideas are everything ideas come from me, okay? You don't understand. If you put us 4 together, we're gonna play at a different level of a competition versus putting us with 220 handicaps. It's going to be completely different because you're going to see the 4 singles all hitting fairways, long drives, sticking greens, impressive short games and putting. You're not, it's going to be a different level of playing with that competition level versus a competition level with you mid and 20 handicaps. You just don't understand. And I will just do that one event where I will put all of us together and the lower handicaps together and we'll just see what it's like. Maybe
What?
we'll
Who's
do it
gonna
for
see? What's that? What is that gonna do?
I think it might be more enjoyable for people. I mean, what's the point of a 20 handicap playing with the 6? I don't understand. What's the point of that? Why not have all the 6 through 9s play together?
The same reason that we have it where everyone's allowed and we have a handicap system, that it just builds a community where people can play together, as opposed to this.
I'm asking for
Yeah.
1 day. I'm asking for 1 day.
And I'm saying no.
Oh no, everybody needs to play together. And see, this is the participation award thing that you're doing here. You're softening everybody to like, yeah, play with each other. I mean, dude, I can't even take you seriously anymore. You do a lot of the talking. You shoot a 106. You finish 14th out of 16. Like, oh, get out of here, man. You just.
You know what? You ever see the foreplay videos where Kevin Kisner, the pro, is playing with the foreplay guys?
What happens then?
He just, I mean, if I was sub 10 and I was closer to scratch, I would totally love to play with shitty handicap guys because he's like, yeah, dude, that's how you play. Watch greatness. Boom. Watch this putt. That's what I would do. You guys don't know how to have fun.
I don't know. I'm spending a lot of time looking for you guys' golf balls all the time, so it's not that fun, actually.
That's why I said you don't help them find it.
I don't think you know how many balls I found yesterday for people.
That's what I'm saying. You don't help them find it. 3
I
minutes.
just told you I found all of their golf balls yesterday.
Maybe
What
you
are you
didn't hear me.
talking about?
Maybe you didn't hear me. I said that's why you don't help them find their golf ball.
So Stone will take my victory? No, I don't play like that. You try to find any reason to maybe win because you need
No,
that
it's
little
not.
advantage. You need that
I'm
little
just
advantage. I don't need.
I'm just playing within the rules of the game, right? It's not my obligation to help you find your ball. It's a courtesy.
Yeah. See, here's the thing though. When you play with better golfers, our shots are not all over the place like your guys' golf balls. We might hit a few errant shots here and there, but you guys are hitting errant shots all day long. That's the difference. Anyways,
Yeah. And
yeah.
your point?
Because it's like you don't see the point of view of a better golfer because you're not there. You don't know the experiences that we have.
No, I know. I do
You
know.
guys
I
have.
know that it's all vanity. All vanity.
Yeah, you do a lot of this, and then you shoot a 106. Then you say someone's got to be the heel in this, and like, get out of here, dude. It's just it's nonsense.
Okay, fine. We'll start the brother versus brother series. I will whoop your ass,
Oh my
and I
god!
will finally shut you up.
In the event that you lose by 20 plus in any time, the brother versus brother series is over. It
You
immediately ends.
Why? Shut up. You're gonna call a
No, and
7-game
dude,
series and a no mercy because you won by a round by 20 strokes?
how would you even win one if you lose by 20?
Okay, and the same time, if I beat you by 20, same thing?
Dude, you beat me by 20, I will give up golf.
All right, bet. Done.
Yeah.
I would love to end your career.
This would be your casket match or whatever, like whatever they call it. You
The
know?
retirement match.
Yeah, we will see.
The retirement
Anyways,
match.
Jeff,
First one to win by 20 strokes has to give up golf.
I mean, that's you. I think I beat you by 20 the last 3 times we played. Anyways, Jeff, I got to move on to our last segment because I mean, I think I could bicker with you about how much you suck at golf for hours and days. Anyways, Jeff, there's been a lot of people talking about golf gloves I've read recently on social media. People are talking about premium golf gloves. Do you think that has anything to do with it? Because I will just let everybody know in the comments. A lot of the comments about the golf balls. People are saying Kirkland golf balls are better than whatever, you know? So I bought a box. I didn't play with them yet. I'm gonna test them to see if it changes anything about my game. But I use Kirkland gloves. And Jeff, I know you have been drifting away from premium golf gloves. What are they to you? Are they better? Do they fit better? Are they nicer?
I don't notice a huge difference, to be honest. Golf gloves is one of those things where I just feel like you just put on, right? I don't think it's gonna make a huge difference to my swing, and that's whether you spend $8 or $30. I don't think there's gonna be a material difference in your play. And even when that's the one. I mean, that's the one item I really hate spending money on is golf gloves. I might just go, what's it, old dude, Freddie Couples, no golf gloves. I don't know that the whole golf club thing is kind of crazy to me. So I will say I did see a deal on Slick Deals and I bought some bionic gloves.
Oh, yeah.
No, last year. So that was
Oh.
I bought a, I think they were selling them a 4-piece as a deal. So I scooped that up for last year to play. So durability, great. The one thing about golf gloves that really annoy me is that palm area that rips. And it's like, once it rips, it's like, damn, I got to buy another one, right? So the bionic ones lasted longer. It lasted me the entire season, all 4 gloves. So I was really happy with that. So it's slightly noticeable. I guess you could feel it a little bit better in terms of where to grip your clubs. It just gives you that little slightly sensation. Yeah, I got away from the Kirklands actually because I felt like the last 2 years, the material was really shitty and it kept ripping. And I was like, oh man, I'm going to buy more and more. I mean, basically it's like, what's the point? I'm going to buy 4 of these gloves for $20 and after 2 rounds, it's going to rip. and I'm gonna have to put on a new one, and then a new one, and then a new one. I'm gonna be spending more. And shame on Kirkland for doing that, trying to weasel more money out of me to buy more golf gloves. But yeah,
Uh,
this year I did try buying the Primos with the TaylorMade one, and I don't think there's a huge difference between a $30 glove and an $8 Kirkland glove or $6.
I use Kirkland's. I mean, when we first started playing golf, Kirkland wasn't around. Yeah, I was rocking like I think the TaylorMade back then, which was I think was like 15 or $20 a glove.
Yeah, the
That was
cheaper one.
that was pre-COVID. Is that cheaper? I mean, this was pre-COVID. I don't even know what it is now.
I forget the styles, man, the cabaret or whatever, but there's a premium ones that are a little bit more expensive. So yeah, definitely feels a
I
little bit
thought it was
nicer on the.
expensive. I thought it was expensive like 15 years ago.
Yeah, but the thing though is it's the material on the outside that's really nice, not the inside where my hand goes into the glove. I don't think that's
Well,
the biggest difference.
I rock the Kirklands now, and there have been a time where I brought a new one out, and then I went to the range, and then it ripped around the palm, and I was like, "This sucks." This is like a brand new glove. But there are gloves that I have right now that I've been using for like half, maybe 15 to 20 rounds, and it still kind of is not beat up. And it's not all crusty like people do. Like, here's a tip for everybody. When you're done playing golf, do not put your glove in your golf bag. You need to put it outside your bag. So my bag has a little Velcro spot where I just put it on, but now it's gotten really bad over the years. So I kind of just wrap it around like a strap somewhere on my bag. And it lasts a long time because I do remember when we first started playing, after I was done, I would just stuff it in the bag where my golf balls are, and then it would be all crusty when you get them out. So there's a pro tip for everybody who is kind of new to golf.
Yeah, no, for sure. My coworker actually showed me that. He's like, "You want to play golf?" And he always had his the packaging. He would always put his gloves back in the packaging. I'm like, "The hell are you doing?" And he was kind of crazy. So I always thought he was just being a little odd, I would say, by doing that in his quirkiness. But he's like, no, it preserves the glove. I'm like, really? So that's why I have that little hand tray or whatever on my bag. So every time I'm done with the round, I just put it back in there so it holds its form.
Yeah, I just wrap it around where the strap on the cart goes. I just wrap it around that. And it's the same thing. I mean, my glove has been fine for. I mean, last year I played 69 rounds. My grid said so. I probably used that glove for like 20 of them, and it's still fine. But
Yeah, then that's not
maybe
bad.
I think I want to try a premium glove, like because whenever I slip a new one on, it feels really nice. Kind of want to try a premium one just to see what the difference is, because I think it might be time for me to upgrade and see. But I did buy the Kirkland balls. I will try that because everyone keeps saying it's better. But here's the thing about that. In the comments, everybody's a scratch golfer in there. Everybody knows everything and everybody's a scratch golfer. So it's like, I don't know who is saying what about anything. And I mean, in this league will show that if people are, if they're really six handicaps or what, or they're really an 18, well, we'll see what these new people are at, because these comments, they always coming for us, and everyone's a pro and everyone hits it 300 yards. And then, I love watching these hater series on YouTube where, these guys are like 5 handicaps and they all are terrible. They're all terrible golfers. I can't understand where these guys are coming from. And then people are gonna come for me and say they could beat me. So we might have to do a hater series too. It might be interesting to watch.
Eventually, I mean, it seems like some of the haters are coming around. But yeah, anyways, I think for you, you should test out the Bionic gloves. If I just had to stick with the glove set, I think I would stick with Bionic. But I mean, I bought the $30 one, the TaylorMade. I'm a little annoyed I spent $30 for a golf glove because immediately I was getting that wear on the palm. And maybe it's my way I'm gripping it. That's why it's happening a little bit more frequently. I guess that's probably the reason why. But I think the material is probably cheap too. I don't know. Because the Bionic, that didn't happen as quickly. It took a while for it to eventually rip. And I feel like the TaylorMade, the premium one I bought, the reason I bought it was because I was like, oh man, I'm liking this new swing. Let me treat myself to a little bit of a nice glove here. And after like, I don't know, 2 or 3 range sessions, it started ripping. I was like, damn it, man, this sucks. So that's why I was like, all right, I gotta go to Costco, get my golf snack, and then I'll pick up a 4-pack of gloves. So I might be back on Team Kirkland on gloves.
I think I have some somewhere in the garage, so I might be busting out a new one soon because that one's getting kind of worn out. But Jeff,
Yeah, I don't think it makes a huge difference between $8 and $30 glove. But if some of these golf companies want to prove me wrong, I'm happy to try it out all year long.
me too, but I bet you someone in the comments is gonna be like, "Oh, there's a big difference between a $4 and $5 golf ball and blah blah blah," and it's hard to actually take the comments serious because you don't know where they are at, like where they're at in their golf career. You got I think the golf ball thing. You got one guy who says the golf ball doesn't matter at all, but then everybody's coming for this guy in the comments saying the golf ball does matter, and then the guy's finally like, I think the guy finally said like, "Oh, I'm just starting." So it's like it's very hard to take people's opinions seriously, especially at different levels of golf. It's like taking your opinion and you telling me how to play or how to swing golf. It's like we're not even the same skill level, so it's like,
That's your downfall. You act like these pros don't have swing coaches. These pros are better than their swing coaches.
yeah, okay,
What's the point of being a pro and not having coaches and a caddy and a swing coach? If you're better than them, if that's the attitude, well, I'm better than you. Why should I listen to you? I don't know. Why the fuck did you hire me?
well, you got a point there, but I don't have a swing coach.
Well, I know that. That's why your game is trash.
Okay, I mean, I just beat you by 20 strokes.
Yeah, I mean, I got nothing to say about that. I will say
I hope this gets clipped so people understand the difference of where we're at. But Jeff, I think
we haven't done anything really. We haven't played really officially out there, and I'll end there on that. When you are ready, I will whoop your ass.
okay. Well, Jeff, I think that's the end of the show. You have mentally exhausted me with your verbal like bullshitness here today. Can't take any more of this anymore. If you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe and comment if the golf gloves really matter and what your favorite brand is, because I might go and try a new glove. I've been Team Kirkland gloves for a long time because I'm cheap, but I think it's time I might try something different. And if you're old here, make sure you like, subscribe, share with all your friends and family. And Jeff, I will see you maybe Wednesday for golf. Otherwise, Sunday.
Yeah, we could play Wednesday, and I'll give you a little preview with less distractions. And yeah, let's play Wednesday. I'll whoop you and Mike's ass out there.
Oh my god. Dude, do you have enough money to like back up all this trash talking you're doing? You could have a big expense line on your taxes next year for just golf payments to everybody.
Hey man, as long as semiconductors and the whole sector does well, yeah, I'll be all right.
Well, see, I guess. So I guess I'll see you Wednesday. I'll whoop that ass on Wednesday.
Yeah, bring it.
All right,
See
see
you.
you.